I also want to talk about typical mistakes when you write a teaching note. This happens all the time. We find it in case competitions, we find it in journals, and there are 5 very typical mistakes. The first one is that what you have written is not really a case. It's a research article. It's possible to take a research article that you have done and turn it into a case, but it's a very different skill and it's a very different style, and if you want to do that, you just need to respect what's typically done for cases. The second one is maybe the most typical mistake. The teaching note is too superficial. For example, you say that this case will be used for 90 minutes in class, and you have a 2-page teaching note. It's almost impossible to cover 90 minutes of class discussion and teaching in 2 pages. Also typical is that you ask the students to make very specific recommendations, but in the teaching note, it's not clear how they could get to that answer, or you don't provide any answers at all. Pay attention to the teaching note. It's very important to make sure that it is comprehensive and it allows a faculty member to just pick it up and teach the case in the number of minutes you have specified. Another typical mistake, number 3 in this case, is that the answers are just impossible. The information is not in the case. You as a case writer know the answer, you know lots of things that's not in the case. If I want to teach your case, I just don't have that information. It has to be provided in the teaching note. Or, on the other extreme, the answer is too simple. It's in the case, but there's no analysis required. You just restate the fact from the case. So it should not be too easy, it should not be too hard. Try to find a good balance in between. The 4th mistake, and again very typical, is that there are no clear learning objectives. And that usually means that the case is not very good. For example, you may say, apply SWOT analysis to the situation or apply Porter's 5 forces, but there's no conclusion. There's no reason or there's no decision that comes out of this. It's just applying a framework to a specific situation. And the 5th one is that in many situations we get cases that clearly have never been taught in class. You see that because there's no real answers provided by the students. There are some gaps, and what we always recommend is use a case 4 or 5 times, refine it, especially refine the teaching note based on the class discussion before you submit it to a journal or a case competition.